Yo, we are vibing today. Welcome, live stream 20. It's going down. We got some submissions. We're about to check out who got the bangers, and you guys can submit now if you want to. Look in the description. It's in the Discord. We're getting down. We're gonna check loudness levels, check the mix down, and see if you actually have a banger. Let's go ahead and get down. Let's see. First submission. This is going to be called Wells Fargo. And this is from Billy. Let's go ahead and get down. I have a burrito to my left side. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys are amazing. Let's go run it. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful Billy. Drum and bass, or our face, as I must say. I've been making a lot of drum and bass lately, and gosh, dude, I just love the fast speeds, fast rhythms. And I'm happy to hear that your song is loud enough and it's mixed well. I can hear the sub, it has its own space, and there's a lot of cool sound design and cool different movements and changes during the drop. So I appreciate that. It's like at -4 LUFS, and There's really no width issues. So mixdowns, awesome. The only thing I think that this song really is missing is like vocals, a nice vocal to really lead this song. It's pretty complex, this song already, but a vocal used, as an extra instrument on top of everything would really make the song complete and really give it a theme and really just make it a piece of art. This is awesome. I'm happy to hear some drum and bass that sounds relatively like heavy and hard. So that's cool, man. I would group your drums together and compress them separately on top of everything so that they can be beefier and punchier. Otherwise, that's really it. Vocals and compression on your drums would make a big difference. But I like this, Billy. Good job. Up next, we have Panic. Work in Progress by Anxiety. I think that's how you say it. Let's go. Okay. I see you. I must say, the drop is, it sounds significantly different quality than the intro and the build up and everything else. To be honest, the intro and the build up and the breakdown all sound really clean, really nice, very loud, perfect for the festivals. I love the vocals. I love the sick beats like before the build up. It's really good. When we get to the drop though, there's issues with like the sub and how the sub relates to the main bass, the main mid basses that are playing. Because at the beginning of this drop, the sub is kind of like sustained. It's like pitching up, like pitching boom, boom. It's like the sub is doing its own separate thing just randomly compared to like what all the main basses are doing. And you can sometimes do that, right? You can have a sustained bass going, but the way it's pitching up and maybe the distortion, like the tone of the distortion is making it sound out of key. It just doesn't sound like they fit or mesh together. I would fix that. It would sound a lot better if they did mesh together. Also, the distortion, you can mess with different types of distortion. You'll find better tones that sound cleaner with the actual mid basses. And you can, if you need to, duplicate your mid basses and just use a sine wave. Instead, use the same LFO information so that you can get that same exact movement with the mid basses as well with the sub. But those are easy things you can fix. The same issues going on. Sorry. Same issues going on in the second drop. Like the bass is going dun 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 dun. Like the sub could easily do the same rhythm as that bass, and it would sound heavy. But instead, the sub's doing a different rhythm. So just remember, this is bass music. The sub and the bass is really driving everything. That's going to be the main thing we're feeling and thing we're going to be paying attention to. So make sure that is in harmony with your mid basses. Otherwise, you do got good song arrangement. You do got good on response. The basses, some of them are louder than others. So I would make sure that you compress them all together, glue them together, and balance out the volume levels so that they all mesh and blend. Otherwise, this is pretty good. Good job. That is, I believe, Vanxiety with Panic. Check right here. All right. Up next, we got Mipsy with Self-Absorbed 50 followers special. Let's get it. Hey. Uh-oh. Whoa. Hold up. Bro, the waves in the background are killing me. Woo! How did I do the same noise as that fucking bass? Oh, it's not much to say, right? If it bangs, it bangs. Mips is coming in with some heat. He's coming in with some deep wubbies. He's coming in with something different, and I'm really liking it because the sound design is cool, but most importantly, the mix down is just like in your face clean, which is important. And you know what's cool is this is a song where this is the first song where I don't have to be like, yo, this is too mono, even though it looks too mono. Like, see this? Do you see the movement though, right? Do you see how this is all moving? And if you listen, there's faint audible sounds in the left and right stereo image, so you can hear there's with mono. It's just beautifully done, right? Sound design, it's coming in hot, it's coming in clean, it's gentle but heavy at the same time. This is cool, man. I haven't heard anything like this in a minute. It's like new age, old school dub, you know, because this is what dubstep used to be. All these wubby dubbies. Fire, man. Fire, fire. Very clean. Clean drums. Awesome, dude. Good job, Mipsy. I don't have much to say, really. Except release it. Oh, yeah, make it longer. You know, this is only 2 minutes. This could be 3.5 minutes. Easy. Make a cool little break section or something. Job, dude. Up next, we have Demise. And Demise is from Yuck. Let's go.
Witness your demise.
Come. Little build.
The inevitable.
Go, boy. Let's go. Nicely done. Nicely done. That was yuck. Demise. And I must say, that was pretty decent. There's a couple things that I think would need to be fixed, but overall, man, this is coming in hot. Compliments on the chef, on the flow during the drop. With most of the phrases, you're changing and moving in different ways in the phrases, and there's like pitching up going on in some phrases. There's really cool different variations, right? But some of the phrases feel empty, or they feel like too mono, and they just don't feel like everything is being used. There's still space available. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain because over time your ears start to adjust to like the stereo image and how loud things can get with your interface and all kinds of different factors so that you could determine if it's too much in the mix or not enough in the mix. But I can show you an example. When your drop starts, the first phrase is like the bass and it sounds kind of empty. And then the next phrase, the sustain starts to play in the background with the bass. And then you kind of get to understand like how the mix can be filled. Like with this, the bass is being used in the width. We have a sustain in the middle. It's like everything is being taken care of. Compared to this, it sounds too mono. It sounds like there's just not enough going on. I'm not saying that you have to put a sustain bass in every phrase, but you need to have other basses playing or add maybe a different type of sustain or anything. There's so many different combinations so that you can fill up the space that's necessary. Look at your stereo images, look at your loudness units like these, and then you'll be able to determine the differences too. That's going to help a lot. There's a couple of phrases in the drops here that sound like you just need a little bit more, you know? The main bass that you're using, it's being played a lot. So if you start adding different variations that slightly are different tone, maybe with like a serum filter or something, it'll make a big difference. And then you'll have like different basses playing, but they're all similar. Otherwise, good. I like the intro. I like the vibes of this. It's just, it doesn't sound like there's enough low end over here. It sounds way too high heavy, way too ear piercing going on over here. So you want to make sure your mix down is clean during these sections and the sub is balanced with all the mids and highs. Otherwise, nicely done. Up next, we have Betrayal. And I'm loving all these names. God, you guys are just coming at me with these names. All right, Kahai. I don't know. Betrayal. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, ooh, this shit be hitting different. I love that sample. clean.
Oh, hi. Switch it up. Switch it up. Ooh, this shit be hitting different. Man. What you looking at?
I see you. Wow. We got KXHAI coming in hot with Betrayal. Had me feeling good, really. Look at this imager. What is this imager doing, dude? The imager's just chilling. Look at this guy. Making a heart? Dude. Well, he gets 1 extra point for that imager dance at the end. Amazing. So this is really clean, honestly. Like the way the sub comes in from intro all the way to the drop. Very nice theme, very nice melodies. It's gentle but loud, clean. When we get to the drop, lots of cool futuristic, future bass feelings. But the thing I'm really liking are like the fills. This is really transitioning well. Good fills. So I'm happy with that. I like the vocals. Energy's good. The only thing that really I think needs to be fixed in this is the sustain that comes in second drop. I like the idea of the sustain going back with the OG first drop, but just the sustain is like the wrong sustain. It's like the wrong tone or wrong pitch. So mess around with different sustains and get something that, you know, matches the same energy as what you're transitioning it to. And I think you'll have a really, really good song on your hands, because until this sustain came, I thought it was almost just beautiful. So get that fixed. Go ahead and actually like release it maybe and have a good time. Good job. Good song. Up next, we got the Mountaintop Work in Progress, number 2 by Wags. Let's go. Got some vibes. Woo. That was awesome. Man, you guys are just taking me on journeys and making me feel all good inside. Wags is also coming in hot with some fire. Get the fire extinguisher. Lots of emotional vibes. Great ARP. Great, chord progressions all the way up to the drop. I'm really loving the vibes here. Feels good. Okay, so during the first drop, though, the pre-drop definitely needs some work. Definitely sounds not good. Yeah, that pre-drop is very low quality compared to like this melodic pre-drop that you have in the second drop. Sounds really cool in the second drop. Oh, by the way, I should be able to find the build up in second drop. Do you see when I'm zooming out? It's just bricked to the maximum. Like that's a problem. It's a big problem. That means there's too much compression going on. That means it's not mixed down correctly. And even though it sounds fine, if I were to like get it really loud on my interface, or if we were at the club and we got it really loud on the mixer, it would just sound like a distorted mess. So we need to prevent that from happening. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. Just look at this song. See, I can tell like the build up between the drop and stuff. Like that's what I mean. I don't even know over here. So make sure you work on that. I have a template video that you can just get that template and you'll be good with that. Okay, and then over here, like for example, first drop comes in. It's just too many basses playing at the same time, a little bit too crowded. Too much going on, too much rhythms, different rhythms playing at the same time. And too much like high frequencies being played at the same time. You want to balance your frequencies, have lows, mids, and highs be playing. Go back and forth between those. And then you can use filters too to add movement with those sustained and just try to have things moving more and less crowded. Maybe add some silences, delete some, maybe do fast little stutters. Try different things so that it sounds less crowded. That's nice. That made more sense. Everything like has its own space there. So you could just compare that section to this section. You can kind of see how to fix the crowdedness. Over here, the sussy explosion. So basically you're going from a huge sustain back to another like wobbly sustain. And it's just too many susses. Like it's really awesome to go back and forth between the sustain, back to a regular bass, and then go back to the sustain. The whole point is just if there's too many frequencies blasting at our ears get tired of it, we get bored, and it just doesn't sound as good compared to if it's going back and forth, back, and then it just sounds like unexpected every time you hear a new sussy. So keep that in mind. Over here, love this melodic section. Beautiful. I just think that the re-space is just not strong enough. You should layer that re-space and the sub bass with more like basses, more basses that are heavy in the mid range. Just make this sound huge, and it's a drop, so make it sound big and powerful. Otherwise, man, I like this. Good vibes. These are easy things to fix. You got it, Wags. Good job. Up next, we have Lodian with Omnia. Lodian is the dog. Wait, where is the song? Omnia. Did it say skipped? That is so. Weird. Okay, let's try this again. Probably because... Wait, I have another one here. We'll put in real quick. We'll go ahead and then get his also. All right, let's get it. Oh my God.
I've been chasing madness ever since I was dragged into your life from your
Oh my God.
I swore.
Damn it. Gosh. God.
I've been
Oh my gosh.
ever since I was dragged
Energy.
into your life from
Oh. Damn it. Load him. Oh, bro. Damn. Odin, chill, bro. Chill, bro. We're just trying to chill, dude. Okay. That was really, really powerful. Extremely emotional. Holy shit, the energy was so high. Dude, you're getting good, man. This was the revised version I could tell from last week, and this is sounding a lot better. Even the violins that go crazy over here in this section, you simplified them. Everything is making a lot more sense. Everything is moving perfectly. The only downfall I heard in this song was like the sub was too loud in like this section. It just felt too overpowering compared to everything else that was playing. So just balance that a little bit more. And please have this outro fade out. We need like a beautiful outro to like make, like, if it fades out, we'll want to repeat it over and over and over and over again. I want to play this out. I want to play this back to back on repeat. So you did it, man. You did really well. You're getting extremely good, extremely fast. Lodian is one of the main people in the Discord, and he teaches people for free. So while he's doing that, you guys should get at him, because it's probably not going to be for long. With this shit he's making, he's gonna change people's lives. Good job. Fuck. Up next, we got Macro. Ooh, Tonos Plague. So this is Macro, Tonos Plague, 145, F sharp, Phrygian dominant. Let's go with the Phrygian dominant. Final. Ooh, this is the final. All right, guys, let's go. Beautiful. God, dude, you guys are just submitting banger after banger after banger. It's so crazy in here, man. Here's Macro with the Tonos Plague at 145 F sharp, Phrygian dominant final. I'm loving it. I'm liking basically everything I'm hearing. There was only one thing really that I think could be fixed a little bit, and that was like the release of the snare on the drop. Like it's like a long release, and then every snare is a long release. I was just thinking if you went from long release to like short release on the snare tail, it would like add even more like movement, and I think that would just be sick. Otherwise, very cool with the sound design. These sections are sick. You have tear out guns playing in the second drop, and dude, you should just add some of those tear out guns in the first drop also, because they sound awesome. Added super heaviness. It made it sound really unique and different, the way that the tear out guns are playing with the other basses. So I think the first drop would benefit a lot from that and make it sound very unique also. Maybe you'll do it. But one thing I didn't really enjoy was this double fake out. Like the energy after the first drop and then the energy in the build up. Like I'm just like ready to dance, right? And right after the first fake out. But then another fake out comes and I'm like still just, I'm kind of like going down in energy because the fake out is still going. This comes super heavy, love it, but I just would probably recommend doing just a regular fake out instead of like a 2 times as long one. But good job, man. Marco coming in hot. He's always cementing that fire. Amazing. Up next, we got Hyper Invasion with Reloaded. Check out the cover art. Let's go.
Chiaro, pano.
Reloaded. Oh, you need reloaded. Well, that's a pretty cool outro. Nice, dog. That's Hyper Invasion with Reloaded. I must say, that's a pretty dope idea. But eventually, it started to lose energy at the end, and it definitely has some work to be done. There's certain sections here where there's no drums and no bass, and like the drop. This is the drop section, but there was a really long fake out followed with a little bit of drums, and then like another fake out followed with a little bit of drums, and then another like middle build. So the whole time in this section where we should be dancing, you're really going back and just taking out the drums, and you're not using the fills in the best ways. You're not using fake outs in the best ways. So you got to be careful when you're doing that, because the whole point of electronic dance music is to get people to like constantly dance. Think of it like this: house music has a four to the floor beat. It's constantly making us dance. So when we're making this type of music that's more two step, half step, we need to make sure that we be careful with removing the things that make people dance, right? The main drums, the rhythm. In the first section, it didn't really have that issue. But in this section, a lot of the mid basses that are playing are like really high frequencies, and they're playing the whole time. So eventually, towards the end, it starts to get harsh on the ears and doesn't sound as good later on in the song. In this second phrase, you can add a different bass. It's more mid range and less high dominant, so that you can have like back and forth between your frequencies and create nice variation. Plus, it'll just sound heavier when a new mid bass comes in compared to the other bass that was playing, 3/4 of the drop. Do those things, fix those things, and it'll be awesome. If you have issues with like drop structure, song arrangement, just bring in one of your favorite tracks as a reference. Look at how they arrange their song and how they make their fills. You'll learn a lot just from doing that. I recommend it strongly. Otherwise, good idea, good song. It was loud enough and wide enough. Good job. Up next, we got Snasta with Fool's Dream. Get that.
You are a fool.
I'm a fool.
I cannot fall.
Ooh, man, we got a lot of cool stuff in here, but we also got a lot of stuff that's not as cool. Hold up. We got a little teaser here. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up.
You are a fool.
Oh. Damn. You really got to diss me like that? Whatever. So, there is a section here with the sustain, which is super dope, super sick. Like song arrangement, song structure, right? You chose the right things, but the thing is like the sustain is too stereo, so it sounds like mixed in with all the other basses when really it belongs like in the middle. So you can make that sustain more mono, more mid heavy, and it'll make a big difference. You're kind of like filling out the stereo image, the middle, the top, the left, the right. That's kind of what you're thinking. So you want to do that in these sections. That'll be great. Also, the sub is like non-existent, which is a huge problem. I know there is a sub. I can tell there's a sub here, but it's just very low energy, very low volume. You gotta just re-up on your sub. Go to the store, go buy you a new sub, or go to the Dripment Patreon and go get a couple subs from there, or follow one of my videos and make one of those subs because you gotta get you right, dude. Or just hit me up in the Discord. I'll send you my sub right now. I got you. But if the sub was just going like heavy, it would just sound so hard. But instead, we got no sub, so it's a bit sad. I cry a little bit. But don't worry, these are easy fixes. You can do it. Up next, we got Magu with System Overload. Overload. Wait, that's not the next song. Hold up. Wait a minute. I gotta make sure I got my songs. Oh, he submitted twice. Interesting. I see what happened. All right, so Hal Tao, we can only use one submission. Okay, so we're going to use number 2 of yours. And then up next is actually going to be Basics Snare. Okay, we'll get that, download this real quick. We're going to put that in. Now, after Basic Snare, we got Magu with System Overload. Okay, sorry for the confusion. There's been a lot of submissions here, but we're getting organized right now, right here, right now. New audio track, bring in tear out song. Make sure this is not warped. Beautiful. This is Basic Snare with tear out. Let's go. Wait, what do you say? Okay, to be fair, I've been in DC and didn't have much time to put in this, so 30-something seconds is all it needs to impress, though. Yo, man, that's what I like to hear. Let's go. Ooh, God, beautiful sustains, beautiful guns. Weakest snare I've ever heard in my life. Weakest snare I've ever heard in my life. What is this? But dude, good job. Overall, I give this a rating 9 out of 12. You calculate that for yourself. But guess what? This was nice, heavy mix down. Once again, that snare needs to be beefed up. That snare, its energy is so low, and it should just be removed. There shouldn't even be a snare. That's how low energy it is. You have to have that snare's energy match the drop's energy. And you came in ready to fight with super high energy. So you're going to need to, get a much, much beefier snare after that. Because remember, the snare is literally what we're headbanging to. So if we're headbanging to some little Fisher Price snare, it's not going to work out. Otherwise, fix that, boom, boom, boom. Make an intro, make a breakdown, make this a song, dude. And then you're good to go. Getting good, dude. Good job. Magu, up next with System Overload. Let's run it. Fuck. Oh, my ears! Oh, heavens. Oh my God. Somebody get me a stretcher. Bro, man, it's hard to match Murata's level of energy. But dude, you were getting really fucking close, bro. That was heavy. But most importantly, your phrases in your drop are very well done, and your mixdown's very, very loud and clean. You're hitting like negative 1.7 lufs, which is extremely loud. And usually I would tell people to turn it down, but your mix is really clean. And I want to turn it up. I want to blow my ears and turn it up. It's insane. It's rare that I hear mix sounds this heavy and loud and clean. It's very hard to get it clean when you're this loud. So I applaud you on that. But most importantly, the sustains, moving, all your different sustains, it all makes sense. I love it. Dude, good job, Magu, man. I'm happy to hear this. So much energy. It made me feel like I was at some fucking crazy place. So, not much to say about this, dude, except release it and start releasing all your songs. I mean, if you're making music like this, dude, just start going in. Hit me up in the Discord if you need anything. You're dope. Good job. Up next, we have Anthrix with 2023 WIP. I don't know how to use Ozone 10 yet, so Master Sounds. Shit, we'll learn in time. Okay, sounds good. that from? Good job, man. That's a good job, man. Hey, man, that's a really, really nice job, man. And I'm gonna give you the pass for the -7 lefts because we have this unmastered. That's so funny. Oh my god! I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" I was like, "Oh shit, that's me." Damn. Good job. You get 1 extra point for that. That's Anthrix coming in hot with 2023 WIP. And I must say, I was feeling good, making me feel very nice. This is some nice, like old school rhythmy type style. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that I think it could benefit from is like a better snare. That snare is all right. I think there could be a better snare. And I also think that you can go back and forth between like 2 different snares, like a snare and a clap, just to add variation and movement throughout the drop. Because during the drop, a lot of the basses are like the same and they're playing. And you want to make sure that you just add movement and variation as much as possible. Also, with the main bass, you want to layer it with like a wide bass. You want to have it be mid-heavy, but also have like a sprinkled in of wide bass with it as well. And you want to make sure you pay attention to your stereo image on both drops and just fill out everything accordingly. It'll help a lot. And with these vibes you have, you can add vocals, you know, like you don't have to add like a acapella or something, but check out my last video. It's all about vocals. You can add like just a word or an ad lib or a phrase and add lots of reverb or delay and just make it sound like its own instrument that's on top of all these super sick chords and arps and melodic elements. So do that. That'd be good for you. Otherwise, good job. The mixing wasn't that bad. It was loud enough. It doesn't seem loud enough when it's like turned down, so you might need to work on your compression. If you're using Ableton, get the template so that you can compress things individually, like your lows, mids, and highs, and super clean. But otherwise, good job, man. I like it. Up next, we have Howl Toll with 2. With 2. Gosh, I am just lost in the sauce. It's 1 now. Oh, okay. Okay, what? Okay. Let's go.
Очень мало. Я не знаю, что делать. Нет, ни одной мысли. Все началось, началось. Они зародились еще давно, но мы не об этом. Они наступают. Они начали войну. Как их там?
Whoa. Hold up. Nice. Okay. Kind of weird, honestly. Kind of different and not really a good different. There was really only one section here that I really fucked with, and it was this. So sorry. It wasn't that. It was this. Like, it makes sense, right? You have your drums, you have some sub, you have like a nice hat that's playing with it. Everything seems filled and makes sense. But then we just go on like on a different journey, and it seems like you just left the drop and wanted to go into like an intro section right here. Some break. Completely loses the energy, right? We're dancing right here, you know, and then we just lose the energy, and then we go back to a little bit of dancing. It's just weird. Doesn't really work in terms of like rhythm. And then in these sections, the basses are just too sustained. There's too much tail, and it sounds crowded. They're going at different weird timings too. Like some are offbeat, some aren't. And you just got to be careful when you're doing that. You are creating a whole new rhythm when you're doing that. So make sure it works. Make sure you can dance to it, because right now it's a little bit messy. In this section, there's a vocal like background atmosphere thing, and that's kind of overpowering the mix while your basses are playing. So things like that can be fixed real easily, but make sure you aren't just randomly making your basses like play at different random notes. Make sure there's some structure. Up next, we got Fear Unknown and Baraka with Gravity, parentheses, Crow's Nest, Bing Bong, Boom Boom. Check out album art. It's a done deal. bum bum. Nice. Clean. Definitely took me on a journey. So many different sections and feelings and emotions, and it's really cool. I like it. And I really like the way you transition from the drop to these breakdowns. Very clean, very professional. I love that. But I must say, during the build-ups, it's very empty. During the section, lots of open space. You could definitely add like a vocal or like a lead or something to keep the energy going instead of losing the energy while we're building up. And then the drums will come in. Honestly, the chord progressions and the feelings I get at the beginning are amazing. I think that you should add some of those melodic elements to the drop and sprinkle a little of emotion underneath all those mid basses because it'll be really sick if you do that. Most importantly, though, this song is very crowded when it comes to all the mid basses. There's like a lot of rides and cymbals being played in the back, which is already taking up a lot of the high frequencies. And then you have multiple basses playing high frequencies, and it's just really crowded up there. Doesn't sound like there's much EQ being used on individual tracks. And you could also benefit by adding like a mid bass to kind of blend in with the higher basses so that we have all frequencies playing. Is it's a little bit lots of high frequencies being played constantly at our ears. Our ears get tired. There's not enough fills. There's not enough silence. So the drop is lackluster. I would fix those things because you have a very professional sounding intro and like chord progressions and melody. So the drop needs to basically match all that. I must say though, this is good. I like it. Good idea. These are easy things to fix in the mix. Play the drop without some of the basses playing and just clear up some space and go from there and start just really taking into consideration your stereo field, left, right, middle, and amplitude, volume up, down. Just make sure that you are good. And reverb too. Reverb will help. Good job. Up next, we got Mayhem. This is from Rhythm Enjoyer. Okay, let's go. That was Rhythm Enjoyer coming in with Mayhem. I must say, dude, this was too loud, man. It hurting my ears, man. I'm just trying to chill, man. You hurting my ears, man. So, this is a rhythm song. It's not a tear out song. Tear out, this new genre that we've been making lately, is really pushing the limits of sound. It's like -3 LUFS or louder. But a rhythm song really should not be hitting that loud. It should be hitting like -5 LUFS, around there, -6 LUFS. And that's still loud. That's still very loud. And that's still perfect for the rhythm. The main lead playing in this is so loud. It's like ear piercing. And we can't even enjoy the amazing sub bass frequencies that are being played. So I would fix that right away. If you're going with like a slower motion, we got to be focused on the sound design and the mix down because we're not like, it's not fast. We're not focusing on rhythm. It's a different thing. So yeah, fix those things. It'll sound a lot better. Otherwise, it's not too shabby. Up next, we got Arlix with Libby. Work in progress. Libby. I don't know if that's right, but let's go. Arlex coming in with Libby, work in progress. I must say, there are some things that we got to fix in this, but overall, sounding cool. I really like the vibes of this right here. Clean. Just reminds me of like some old school mafia type shit. And I love that. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room, really. This brass, bro. The heck is this, man? This brass is like from a 2007 sample pack, and it is just sounding horrific, man. This is like some old trap sample pack. Dude, what the heck is going on here? This is Metro Boomin sample pack. And then on top of this, it's doing weird rates and it's going at the wrong timing. And dude, oh my gosh. In the second section, you took out the brass. That was a better idea. But honestly, I think you should keep the brass, just add like a better brass and make sure the timing is perfect with the brass and have it be loud and fat and prominent to match the energy of your song. Don't make it sound like low volume and weak and thin and little. You want to do the opposite. In the drop, everything's really nice, but the thing is the rhythms are going fast like the whole time. And I think you could benefit by switching between fast rhythms and then like a short, like slower rhythms. And if you do that and change the rate and change the speed of the guns, it'll help a lot. In these sections too, there's a lot of fast movement, lots of basses, lots of frequencies, but there's not enough fills. So our ears get tired of all the frequencies being blasted. You need a little bit of like silent sections, put in some vocals, put in some glitches, put in whatever you want, and add some cool fills. All those tips I just gave you also would apply to your second drop as well. And then just make sure that you transition really well in between. Like just add like little sweeps in between these things and make sure everything transitions beautifully. Dude, you'll be good to go. It was a good job. Sounding good. It's loud enough and wide enough, which is important. So I'm happy to hear that. Up next, we got Akron with Last Breath Final. Oh gosh. Let's go. A. Was Akron or Akron with Last Breath Final. That's what I like to see. We have some nice melodic piano vibes. We have a nice drop with a super clean fat sub. I'm really happy to hear your sub isn't overly compressed. It's like separated. I can feel it. It feels good in my chest, and it would feel even better at the festival. The only really problem I had with this song is the beginning of both drops are very empty. I can tell you're going for this, but when we get to the second half of the phrases, the second half of the drop with the next phrases, it sounds just a lot better because there's more basses and space is filled up. But in these, it's empty. Now, the way you could fix this, you can keep it like this, but you need to really be considerate of your reverb because the reverb is what's creating the space. And every time you hear that, whoop, that's adding reverb, but it's the same reverb every single time. And it's like not enough reverb. You want to play with the depth. You want to play with the space of your reverb in these sections and even like use reverb throws so that you're moving with the reverb because there's a lot of empty space here. But it sounds dope. I like what you're going for. And then when we get to this section, it sounds even doper because it's so different from the first section. So yeah, there's tips and tricks you could do with reverb to fill up that space, or you can just add some different basses or different sounds to just add more to those sections. It's really cool with the pianos here. I do think you could have a vocal for sure because there's a lot of story, but it still feels incomplete with like the main instrument being a vocal. And then make the build-ups have more energy. There's a lot of energy here. So if you have like a weak build, a halftime build, and we go into a halftime drop, it just doesn't feel good. You could, double time your build and make it go super fast. And then boom, add more snares, add more drums, make them go in the background and get higher tension and higher energy in that build-up. Otherwise, it's good. I like it. Nice. Up next, we have Kaiju Bop. And this is from ELV8. Elevate. Let's go. What the heck is going on right now?
Well, it's big and terrible. By the end of the day, by the end of the day, by the end. Can you hear me okay, George? Now let's have it, Steve. out of Tokyo Bay. Tokyo Bay.
That is Kaiju Bop by Elevate. Okay, I must say, the beginning sounded pretty cool, but you really, really lost me towards the middle and the end because there's just a ridiculous amount of like random basses being played, and there's no song structure, there's no like arrangement. It doesn't feel like anything's transitioning from each other, and really, you have to simple things down, dial things back, and only use a couple basses at first. And if it still sounds like there needs to be more space, you can add more. One thing that I hear a lot in this song is a lot of fast rhythms, like da 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 da, like all over the place, constantly. You want to move between fast rhythms and shorter, slower rhythms. You kind of go back and forth like that. The brass section, the mix down is just really loud compared to everything else. So you want to balance out your levels. And with this, you can't just have basses play randomly, right? You need to do call and response. So when the downbeat comes, you have one bass play. Usually it's like a short bass or a long bass. And then you can add some fast basses after that. And you're going to be going back and forth with call and response. I do a lot of videos on this. Practice it because it's going to make the biggest difference. We want to be able to dance to this music. We don't want to, hit next. You want to make sure you want to like repeat it over and over again. And there's like psychological tricks and tips that you can do to do that. So follow those. You'll be good. Up next, we got DJ Lil Bone Purge. Wait, what? Yeah, DJ Bone. I believe it's Bone. Let's go. Ma! Put it on the station, Ma! Okay.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
That's DJ Lil Bone with Purge. I must say, that was a cool intro. I like the whole Purge theme, but your drop has a lot to work on. Some of the most important things that need to be fixed right away is your sub bass. The sub bass that's playing is like too high of an octave. We can hear the sub bass, but you can't feel the sub bass. The whole point of the sub and bass music is so that we can feel it and like get lost in that feeling. So bring it an octave down, make sure that you're at octave 0 for your sub basses. And then for heaven's sake, your mid sustain bass, your main bass of the drop, needs to be loud. It's very low volume. Your sub is higher volume than the mid bass, which is a big problem. They should be balanced out together. And most importantly, you need like heavy amounts of compression and saturation and distortion to your mid basses so that you can bring them up in the mix and make sure that they're loud and prominent. The snare and the kicks and stuff are very weak, and those are the things we dance to, right? The kick and the snare. So you got to make sure you're using good amounts of compression, get them fat, thick, use layers, and if you do all those things, man, it'll make a big difference. But there's a lot of things you need to work on with the drop. It seems you have song arrangement down, but now you got to work on sound design. You got to work on mix downs, and get to go, Lil Bo. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Thank you all for joining. I love doing these streams. I love hearing all the amazing music. I don't expect to hear such great bangers, but you guys just blow my mind every time. Hit me up in the Discord if you want to chill with us, chill with me. We're in the voice chat and we're in the video chats all the time. And then also, you can get ready for this remix competition. I'm going to submit some stems, and then at the end of the month, we'll do a video where we basically show all the remix entries and pick the best one, and then it's gonna be crazy this year. You guys are dope. Peace out. A-Town.